Welcome to Maritime Supernatural Podcast. I'm Jill.
I'm Chrissy.
And we're here to spook you.
Yes, spook. And last week was a weird week.
Yeah.
So this is our third time trying to sit down and record.
Yeah. At one point, I was trapped in a gym for
Yeah.
about 5 hours during a pop blizzard, like a pop-up blizzard.
Yes.
It's like one of those like pop-up art galleries, but it wasn't an art gallery.
But it was a blizzard.
Trapped me in a gym.
Yes. Yeah. Was that Thursday night?
Yeah.
Yes.
That was Thursday.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Because I was train parcel day.
Right. Let's tell me about train parcel day. That day was the weirdest of them all.
Oh my God. It was a weird day. So it had been a weird week.
Yes.
I had gone to Bathurst, New Brunswick for a doctor's appointment.
Mm-hmm.
And because of a miscommunication, we ended up staying there Monday, Tuesday, and leaving Wednesday. We were supposed to leave Tuesday afternoon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so already that's thrown me off. And like at this point I had no research done.
Mm-hmm.
I hadn't been able to really sit down. And then Thursday happened. I'm laying in bed. I can hear JF in the shower, and I hear a knock at the door. And I'm like, I'm sleepy. I'm not getting up. Like, they can leave whatever it is at the door, or they can come back later, whatever. And then they knock again, but louder. And so I go to get up, and JF's already at the door, and he's got this parcel in his hand. And he's like, okay, well, I'm going to go finish my shower. Like, he'd already said goodbye to the delivery man. And you can open it up and you can see what's in it. Because I don't know what it is. I don't remember ordering anything. I was like,
I
okay.
love opening packages. I think at that point I would have been like, woohoo, package opening time.
Yeah. So he goes and finishes his shower. And I open up the package. And it's like these two, from what I can see, these two metal cylinders wrapped in bubble wrap.
Okay.
And it's like, okay, well, this seems to be something special, so I'll wait till JF's out of the shower. He comes out, and we each open up one of these bubble wrap cylinders, and in it is this busted vintage model train.
Mm-hmm.
It's two, like, engine carts, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
They're both from, like, different types of trains.
Mm-hmm.
One of them has, like, a piece that can, like, kind of fall out the bottom. Like, I don't think it's meant to fall out, but it can come out of the bottom.
Yeah.
And there's like copper wiring on it, so at some point these were supposed to move.
Mm-hmm.
And we're like, what is this?
Well, at first I would be like, okay, so clearly JF ordered some vintage train engines, like small toy train engines. That would be my first thought. Like, okay, so clearly he ordered these.
Yeah, and so we play a lot of D&D, so I was like, oh, maybe this is like a prop thing for D&D, but he's like, no, I have no idea. There's also like this weird like reddish brown stain on the inside of the box. It's not very big. It's just like a little like brush of color on like one of the flaps.
Mm-hmm.
And like, of course, my first thought is blood.
Of course, yeah.
And JF's like, maybe it's ketchup. So he calls around some family members. Because
he has no idea why these came to his door. Like zero.
Exactly. Yeah, none whatsoever. So he's calling family, and I'm looking up the address online. He calls his mom, and she's like, no, maybe your sister. Like, because this is something that, like, she would do. She'd see something random and cool and be like, oh, JF, I want to send this to him. Calls her up. She's like, no, what? Like, of course not. Like, I know you don't care for trains. Like,
yeah.
Like he has no passion of locomotives.
No.
And meanwhile, I find out that the address leads to a warehouse in Mississauga in Ontario.
Okay.
And it's owned by TELUS Communications.
Okay.
So he calls them up, a little bit of telephone tag later, and he finds out that, yes, it is their warehouse, but there's no reason why they would send him model trains.
Yeah, because they're a phone company, right?
Yes, exactly. They're a telephone company. It's not like they have some kind of weird promotion happening right now.
If you sign up within the next 6 months, you can get these vintage bloody trains in your mail.
These sketchy ass trains. So we end up getting dressed and going to the post office and explaining this situation. And like the lady, like, bless her heart, she like, her eyes just like go from us and then down to the suspicious package and then back up to us. And she's just like, okay, this is super weird, but we will take it because it's not yours. Like,
yes.
So thank you for bringing this.
Yeah, exactly.
And she said that in a few weeks we can call up and see if there's been any kind of movement on this front. Like they were trying to find the correct owner.
Yeah.
As we're driving home, JF says, well, the only package that I've received since we moved to this apartment has been my cell phone. And we're with Kudo, and Telus owns Kudo.
Mm-hmm.
So we're like, the box would have been about the same size. That stain inside of the box, it could have been ketchup. What if somebody took the box out of the garbage, put these model trains in for some reason, and then sent it out to us?
Like a pre-addressed box.
Yeah. And like, we don't know why, but so far that is the theory that makes the most sense. It doesn't make much sense.
No, that is so weird.
Yeah, so white out your addresses before you toss out parcels and mail and stuff.
Yes, because you might get weird trains.
I guess, I mean, if your passion is for trains,
maybe do leave your address on the package.
It's very weird. And we gotta remember to call up like next week or something.
Yeah, because if there's any updates on that, I want to hear them.
Yes, for sure. I would definitely be keeping people up to date. It's so weird.
It is very weird.
Yeah, and then weekend ended up being like much busier than I thought, so I wasn't able to finish my research. Mm-hmm. But because we were supposed to record again Sunday morning.
Yeah,
and
it's hard to settle down to and record on a weekend because you just want to relax and go outside if you can. Because I think it was fairly nice that day too.
It was gorgeous on Sunday.
Yeah.
JF was home and my boyfriend Liam was home. For those curious, I am polyamorous, but so like I had, my two favorite people around, and it's like I want to spend time with them, and Liam had to like go home to get some homework done, like, so he had to leave a bit earlier than he usually does. So it's like, also Gothic Little Christmas was in town, so I wanted to go to that, which is such a cool craft show. I love this craft show so much. Exactly.
Yeah, but here we are, and now we're recording, and I'm very excited to delve into the goods.
I am so excited. I feel so bad because my story ended up being much shorter than I originally planned.
Hey, we're not all about length, we're about quality.
Exactly. I hope that I can still deliver on the quality front.
Oh, yeah, you always do.
Yes. Aw, thank you. I was originally planning on doing the whole city of the thing that I'm about to talk about.
Interesting.
Yes, but there ended up being just so many really interesting ghosts in this city that I was like, you know what? I'm just going to start with one, and I'll do there's 3 main ghost stories from this city, and I'll just do each one individually at some point.
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Yeah. So, you want to get into it?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yes, okay.
Tell me about your ghost.
Okay, so today in story 6, I am covering St. Michael's Basilica in Miramichi, New Brunswick.
Oh, Miramichi.
Miramichi.
Oh my goodness.
The old she.
Yeah, that's where Chrissi and I met, actually.
Yes, it is. We both went to college there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, As I said before, it is located in Miramichi, New Brunswick. St. Michael's Basilica is one of the largest churches in Eastern Canada. The spire is tall enough to be seen across many miles, and it has like this little, I say little, but it's an LED red cross lighting up the top of the spire. There's a big tall ship's bridge that goes over the river that runs through the city. And when you're at the top of this bridge, like you can see clear across the town, and you can like this red cross you can see it from every angle.
Kind of spooky in itself.
It is very eerie to see, especially on like the really quiet winter nights. So this is an Irish Catholic church.
Okay.
It's a Irish Catholic basilica, I should say. And when Irish Catholics were first immigrating to Canada, they were required to switch to the Church of England. In the 19th century, this law was lifted. However, Irish Catholic people still face a lot of marginalization. St. Michael's Basilica was built in the early 20th century to bring Irish Catholics together to keep their sense of identity.
Aww.
Yeah. I saw something, I think it was on the My New Brunswick webpage, where there was a smaller church there that was popular in the 1800s. And that ended up burning to the ground completely. There was nothing left. And so around the time that the law was lifted where they could keep their religion, they decided to build the basilica. St. Michael's started off as a cathedral, but in the 1980s, it was elevated to the status of a basilica.
Ooh.
Yeah, so that's really cool that happened. Yeah. So on the property is a bishop's palace and what was once a nunnery and is now part of the NBCC campus, housing the 2D animation and nursing departments.
That's where we went to school.
That's where we went to school. And to the west inside the main church is a lady chapel, which is like this Mother Mary statue. And I remember the first time I saw that, I like stared into her eyes and I just got like this weirdest wave of like, I'm not alone.
Yikes.
Yeah, it was definitely freaky, but it was also like a comforting feeling. Like,
oh, so not malicious.
No, it definitely was not malicious. So it's like, that's neat.
Yeah.
The ghost stories within the basilica are very limited, but they are consistent. Like, people have heard this since, like, I was going to say, like, since the basilica was built, but, you know, we don't have records of the ghost stories dating back that far. But, like, for years and years, people have been saying the exact same things. So, the first story is a young girl in the basement bathroom who disappears when you look in the mirror.
Oh,
yeah,
I
classic.
hate stuff about mirrors so much.
Yeah, I found that in the building where we went to school, so like the ex-nunnery, there was, do you remember the basement bathroom that
How could I ever forget?
Yeah, right next to the life drawing room.
Yes.
It had a weird vibe.
I avoided going in there. I would always go upstairs to the one upstairs.
Yeah, I did have like one night I was there by myself and I was really curious about the men's bathroom, which was on the other side of the classroom. Mm-hmm. So I ended up going in there just to check it out. It's so much nicer than the girls' bathroom.
Oh.
Like, they have new tile flooring and new stalls and stuff like that. And like you go into the girls' room and it's like these horrible, terrifying wood brown stalls. And
yeah, they were bad.
I always got a weird vibe about the mirrors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now we know why. Well, tell us why, actually. Tell us why.
Well, it's just a young girl. Like I said, like, these stories are super limited.
Oh,
like,
okay.
So it's just
not
like
many
you
details.
Would look
in. So you would see a girl in the bathroom with you, and then you'd look in the mirror, and she wouldn't be there, and then you'd turn around and she'd stay gone.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
That's awful. I would not make it into the stall. I would be like, oh, my pants. Why?
Yeah, oh, no.
My pants. Oh.
Oh, I'm going home.
I'm a lowly animation student. I can't afford new pants. This is
Oh,
awful.
no. Just wade into the river and wash them off.
That's true.
Yeah. Also in the basement gym, there are disembodied laughter of children.
Oh, no thanks.
Yeah, like
No wonder I gained my freshman 15 in that school. I didn't go to the gym. I was like, forget that.
yeah, in all fairness, the one of the animation studios for the animation department was in a gym.
Oh yeah, it was.
Yeah. I mean, we just sat there and drew cartoons
Yeah.
all day, but it was in the gym.
Yeah, technically I was in the gym almost every day then.
Yeah.
Ha-ha!
Aha. So on the first floor, going up to the first floor, there are frequent sightings of a little boy and girl running around playing.
Barf. Okay.
Yes, yeah. So I guess reading into it more, they are often seen just kind of together, usually just like standing around. Sometimes you might see them like, separate from each other, but there are also reports of them like running around pews and laughing and stuff like that. So it's kind of sweet though, but it also
Yeah,
makes
I don't
me
know.
horrendously aware of the fact that some children died, which ain't great.
I know. I always feel bad when they're kid ghosts.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell myself it's one of those things where like,
The spirit was
the
captured as they grew up.
yeah, it's more like the elderly passed away and they're like,
Oh.
fuck being old, I don't want to be old. So they're like, I'm gonna be a kid again. It's gonna be
Okay.
great.
I thought you
Yeah.
were going at it from like the memory standpoint, where it's kind of like ghosts are the memories of people in an instant versus like necessarily the spirit of the dead or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But,
Yeah, I suppose it's more
but-
like a memory, memory spirit or
yeah,
whatever.
some kind of like time capsule of spiritness.
This is do not open till 2027.
Do not open unless you want to buy new pants.
Speaking of having to buy new pants, the scariest one,
Oh.
there's the voice of a screaming nun is heard throughout the building.
Oh, no thanks. Nope. Okay, that's terrible.
Yeah, but part of me is like, how do they know she's a nun? Is it just
Yeah.
because like it's like an older female voice in the church? Like,
Maybe she's screaming something
Yeah.
specific, like "Atone for your sins." Oh,
I'm a nun. I love being a nun. Time to do some nun stuff.
just screaming these things all the time. Never whispering. Never like yelling. Just screaming.
What am I up to? None of your business.
Oh, that's all terrible.
Yeah, truly the most horrifying.
None of your business. Oh no.
So, there also used to be a tunnel leading between the church and the nunnery.
Did they call it the nunnel?
I hope so. I really hope so. That screaming nuns down there just making these like puns, and this is how she died. Is that they just bricked her in? They were like, no. Dear sister abstinence, I don't know. Like, come over here for a second.
Sister abstinence.
This is what Catholic nuns are called.
I'd be so mad if I was named Sister Abstinence. It's like
I mean, you're not wrong, but still, you don't have to
God.
rub it in.
I laughed myself into a cough. I'm sorry.
Oh,
okay,
no.
I'm back. I've recovered.
It's the only. It was the only like Catholic religious word I could think of.
Oh, Oh,
So
my heart rate just like skyrocketed.
there were stories of possible spirits in the tunnel. More just like you'd be walking through and you would feel as though somebody walked by you. But nobody was there. But they had to brick up the tunnel because there were too many students from the college breaking in and like going on their own ghost walks.
Little shits. I would have done it too, though.
I absolutely would have done it.
Yeah, we would have been in there with like a microphone and...
The amount of times I tried to get into rooms that I knew I was not allowed in that building. Like,
that's how horror movies begin.
As soon as the nursing department was gone, I was like up on their floors being like, what do they got up here?
None of your business.
None of your business. Fuck. Get out of here, Sister Abstinence.
Got me.
Sister Abstinence, I'm so done with you. You're done with me?
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Oh, Sister Abstinence, leave.
Oh, just let us record in peace.
How do you solve a problem like Sister Abstinence? That song does not do well with so many syllables.
What is the song?
a problem like Maria from Sound of Music. I did sing it really badly.
I don't even know that. I don't even know that song. That wasn't on you. That's on me not knowing enough about the Sound of Music.
Okay. I love that movie. I watched it like 7 times growing up.
Oh.
Yeah, it's nice. The tunnel was bricked up. As stated before, the nunnery, which is now the college campus, has many ghost stories. I've mentioned a few personal ones in previous episodes.
Yeah.
During recent renovations, I think this was about 15 years ago or so, 20 years ago, a nun's habit and a priest's collar were found in a wall.
Scandalous.
Yes, yeah. So this building had a lot of ghost stories before this, but stories dropped off in frequency when they removed the priest collar and nun's habit were removed and given back to the church.
Whoa, that's interesting.
Yes. Like I said earlier in this episode, I wanted to do a whole story on Miramichi, but due to the violence against Irish Catholic people, Miramichi has many ghost stories involving nuns throughout the city.
Oh, what a sin.
Yes, yeah. Some of them are pretty brutal. If anybody wants to give themselves a little teaser, the Headless Nun of French Fort Cove is a very, very popular story in the area.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll wait until your rendition. Don't want to spoil my dinner of spooky story.
Yeah. That is a little quick overview of St. Michael's Basilica in Miramichi, New Brunswick. Very short and sweet and to the point. Yeah. It is a beautiful building. Absolutely stunning. Lots of flying buttresses.
I don't think I was ever actually in that building.
Really?
Yeah. Unless, I might have been if we ever did a Remembrance Day ceremony in there or something like that.
Yeah, I don't think I ever was in there for quote unquote official business. But I remember there were days when they would just have the doors open, and it was right across the street from the college.
Yes.
So I would oftentimes go in there and just do studies of objects and stuff that they would have in there. Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for that tale.
Of course.
Those mini tales. I enjoyed it.
Yes.
And I'm going to talk about a haunted building as well. Or actually 3 haunted buildings.
Ooh.
So I'm going to cover some haunted theaters in the Maritimes.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. And I'm going to start with Moncton's Capitol Theater. So Capitol Theater in Moncton was built in 1908, and the building contained 2 theaters, the Capitol and the Empress. In 1926, a fire burnt down the Empress and gutted the Capitol Theater.
Wild.
Yeah, so it was pretty bad, and a firefighter actually died in this fire. So Alexander H., or like Sandy is the nickname, Lindsay.
Mm-hmm.
And some say that Sandy never left the theater. So in 1993, they renovated and redid the Capitol Theater. It is said that you can feel and even hear Sandy in the late night hours in the dark theater. One blog claims that there is a lady ghost who falls off some stairs. I said that. Oh, I should have told you today. My brain is completely off, just completely off.
Its rocker.
It's like I was trying to add 6 and 1 together, and I kept getting 6, and I couldn't stop saying 6. And I was talking to 2 other people, and they were like 7, and I was like, okay, well, I'll come back with the $6, and they're like $7, and I was like, okay. And then we laughed about it for a second, and then I was like, okay, I'll be back with the $6, and they're like $7. And I'm like, I'm bringing 10. We'll do the change when I get back. I am like really a mess today. Anyway.
Oh Lord.
Okay. One blog talking about the Capitol Theater claims that there is a lady who fell off some stairs and died while running to get popcorn.
Oh no, that's how I'm gonna go.
Like, what if it's like
I gotta get my snack.
Too much butter on the popcorn, slicks up the stairs, like recipe for disaster.
So she slips up, but she somehow dies. I think she's at the top of the stairs and just rolls all the way down.
Well, she might have went off the side or something.
Yeah, I'm just like, I'm picturing me.
Oh, no.
I'm picturing me just like sensing that intermission is like coming, and like as soon as they're like, okay, intermission, I'm like off like a shot.
Because you want to beat everyone else. Because
I want to beat everyone else.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I gotta get my snacks.
Yeah, because at the break, everyone goes at the same time.
Yes, exactly. So I'm like running, and I'm like, gotta get to the lobby, gotta get myself a treat.
Yeah,
exactly. And I can, like, at the top of the stairs, I can see like this little old granny getting there before me, and I'm like, fuck you. And I go to like run down the stairs, forgetting every single rule of safety I learned in kindergarten.
Yeah.
And I just like topple over.
Down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Take down a couple of other patrons with you.
Yeah, and this is how my life ends, and I'm just like now in the theater like glaring at everyone who is able to have popcorn.
Hey, how's that popcorn? You want to share?
I just like sit over their shoulder like, must be nice. Did you get the actual buttery topping? Did you get the real butter?
Must be nice.
It must be so nice, man. I can't even smell it anymore, but I remember how it smells, and it smells great. Take a big whiff of it, man. Yeah, go ahead. Take it. Take a sniff.
You could always like sit in their body with them and like eat it with them.
Yeah, possess them and like
just to eat the popcorn.
Give me access to your tongue. Just let me be your tongue.
Oh God, this is a very silly episode.
It's been a very silly couple of weeks.
It has been. I actually wrote a stupid joke in here. It says,
oh, cool.
So, lady ghost who fell off some stairs and died while running to get popcorn, but I'll take that tale with a grain of salt.
Sister Abstinence, you need to leave.
She's got me.
She's got you by the tongue.
Yeah, she got me. She possessed my tongue. Okay, so on this blog, they said that a female form could be seen standing where an old concessions counter used to be, and they would feel mysterious breezes on the stairs, where I'm assuming she would run by to get the popcorn.
Fuck yes. Give me that buttery, salty treat.
And you'd think by now, like, the ghost would learn to stop, like, horsing around on the stairs. It's like, this killed you, but you're still breezing up and down.
The ghost keeps falling down the stairs.
They're like doomed to this fate of continually falling.
But it's like, it's not like a memory thing. It's literally that the ghost keeps running up and down the stairs and tripping.
They're not even locked in. It's just they're still clumsy. They're not getting any better.
Poor woman.
Oh, God. Okay.
May she rest in peace.
Yes. I agree. Okay. Okay, so now for the second theater. That was just the first one. Okay. So.
Okay, let's keep talking about death.
My next theater haunting.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a bit more abstract. Like, there was no specific deaths reported that I found.
Mm-hmm.
And it is the Savoy Theatre in Glace Bay, Nova Scotia.
Mm.
So this theater was built in the 1920s, and it held lots of different shows, including like boxing matches and stuff.
It's a multi-entertainment venue.
Yeah. It was a film theater for a while in there, and then in the 1970s, they renovated it back to its roots as a live theater, like a stage theater.
Mm-hmm.
So now they're leaning into their hauntings, which I found kind of interesting. And on their website, so savoytheater.com, you can actually write in your own ghost stories of scary things that have happened to you in the theater. And I'm going to read a couple just so that we understand what's going on.
Oh, I love this.
Yeah. So the first one is from Alana Head, age 12, I think. For some reason, they added their age.
This is what you do. Yeah, this is just
it's
what
like
you do
once you
when
hit
you're a
20
kid.
or 25 or something, then you stop adding your age.
I absolutely keep adding my age whenever I write into like anything.
Or like if you're signing a piece of art you make, you still, you're like,
yes.
Chrissi, age, how old are you? 27.
29.
20,
Close.
Oh. I'm so bad. Okay.
26. Okay.
Oh, Lord. Okay. So this is from Alana Head, age 12. And it's called The Gray-Haired Lady.
Ooh.
When I was about 7...
I saw my grandmother in here.
My grandmother took me to the theater.
It was great.
That's the whole story.
Okay. Ooh, spooky. Okay, sorry. Okay.
When I was about 7 or 8, my mom and I were at the box office buying tickets for a concert when I told my mom I had to go to the bathroom. She told me she would meet me in there. After I was done, I came out of the stall, and my mom was there waiting for me by the sink. There was an old lady I saw. She had short gray hair and was wearing a baby blue sweater. I asked my mom who she was, and I pointed to the wall where I saw her. And my mom said, "What lady?" I kept pointing to her, but my mom didn't see anything. About a year later, when I was visiting my uncle in Ontario, the day I was supposed to come home, we stopped at the bank for some money while my cousin and I stayed in the car, and I saw an old lady with short gray hair and a baby blue sweater on, staring right at me.
No.
After all, they do say the things that can see ghosts the most are infants, animals, and children. Thanks for listening to my story.
Okay, that was like a humble brag at the end, Alana. Like, you need to stop that. Like,
just because you can see
no
ghosts.
one likes to show off.
But yeah, so they were in the bathroom and then saw this old lady who the mother couldn't see, and then saw, I guess, a similar or maybe even the same old lady in Ontario.
Mm-hmm. So
that's
Alana
kind of
is haunted.
Yeah, it's Alana that's haunted, not necessarily the theater. However, I thought it was interesting because as I was reading through them, there was another one. Okay, so this one is called Late Night Visitor. In 2002, Savoy box office manager Patricia Pace was working late one night selling the Savoy's popular Dream Vacation draw tickets. I was alone in the building because I had come in after hours to call patrons. After making all her phone calls for the evening, Patricia began the process of locking up the box office. She then made a quick trip to the washroom located in the Savoy's inner lobby. I was walking out of the washroom, drying my hands on a paper towel, so my head was down. Someone walked right in front of me, and I had to literally stop to let them pass. It was an automatic reaction, a reflex. I think I may have even muttered the words, "Excuse me." It was that moment that fear set in. It dawned on me that I had just stopped for someone when I was supposed to be alone. I looked all around, and there was no one in sight, but I knew someone walked in front of me. The presence was so strong that it stopped me in my tracks, so I didn't waste any time grabbing my purse and running out the door.
Ooh.
The following day, as Trish recalled her story for other staff members, she pointed out that she wasn't really afraid of whoever it was. It didn't give me a scary feeling when it walked by me, but it was something I couldn't explain, so I guess that's the scary part. If there are spirits dwelling here, that's fine by me, just as long as they keep to themselves.
So it's interesting that it's in the bathroom still.
Yeah, so I'm wondering, she didn't get a good look at whoever it was, and I'm wondering if it was an old lady with a blue shirt.
I wonder. Yeah, that was my immediate reaction, was that it was the same lady.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, so incredibly Canadian to be walking and then get cut off by somebody else.
And
then say excuse me.
Yeah, exactly. I apologize to everyone that is within 3 feet of me. I'm like, "Oh, sorry," or "Oh, excuse me," "Oh, sorry."
When I was in Florida, I was going through the Target, and of course I had my shopping cart, and anytime somebody kind of got close to me, I would jerk away and I would say sorry, it's just the polite thing to do.
Yeah, of course.
And I had at least 2 people stop me and go, no sweetie, there's no need to be sorry, it's fine. And it's oh no, you don't understand. I'm not actually sorry. It's just a polite thing.
I don't actually care. I just
yeah, we can both go on living our lives if you want. I don't care.
Yeah, exactly. It is funny when you leave the atmosphere that we live in, this environment, and people just don't consider politeness the same way we do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
Yeah, and also just being from Canada, we each get a ton of space, a ton of personal space.
Tons.
So the second that anybody gets within a foot of me and it's I don't know them, I'm just
sorry, let me get out of your way.
Yeah. Oh, I'm immediately oh, sorry, and backing away from them, and it's totally. they aren't even doing they had zero awareness that they were ever close to me.
Oh my gosh. When you're in the grocery store or something and the person behind you is standing within a foot of you, and then you edge forward because you're uncomfortable, and then they edge closer to you again. So then, do you ever do the thing where you stand sideways and keep one foot out far? Because I do. Kind of block them so they can't get closer. I stand kind of sideways and leave one foot behind me, and then rest of me leaning away from them so that if they edge forward, they're going to hit my foot.
That is hilarious.
I can't handle it.
I actually have a running theory that if you're ever in a supermarket or a grocery store or anything, and you're in a completely empty aisle, if you stay there long enough, you will just bring people to you. And this is why it's so important to keep moving when you're in a grocery store, because I think it's just this mental idea of
people want to stand in lines.
Oh no, it's more just if there's nothing that you want in an aisle, then you're just gonna skip by it. But if you see somebody looking at something, you're oh, maybe there's something interesting there. Maybe there's something I do want in this aisle. And that's what brings people oh, what is this?
That's interesting. I'm going to try that and see how that works out.
Yeah, just pay attention to whenever you're in an empty aisle, how long it takes for that aisle to fill up.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah. Yes.
I have one more about the Savoy.
Okay.
And it is titled Bathroom Mischief.
Okay.
So this bathroom is sounding pretty haunted. I don't know.
Yeah, assuming it's the same bathroom.
And disclaimer, there are other stories that don't have to do with bathrooms. I just felt like since we started a theme of bathrooms early in the episode, that maybe I should continue it.
Fair enough.
Early one morning, while setting up for a private function, a Savoy Theatre employee, who wishes to remain nameless, was startled to find there was someone else using the facilities, even though the worker was supposed to be the only one in the building at the time. It was about 5:30 a.m. It was still gray and dark outside. I was making my way out of the washroom when one of the stall doors slammed itself shut behind me, and then the toilet flushed. I went back to check it out, but I didn't see anything. The employee continued to set up for the function and didn't want to mention anything to anyone for fear of being laughed at until a few days later. We were showing movies for March break, and one of the kids came out of the woman's bathroom and told us that while she was standing next to the sink, the water was turning itself off and on. It was then that I told the manager about the flushing toilet. The Savoy worker still comes to work alone. Whatever it was seems friendly enough, so it's not something I worry about.
Wow, that makes me think of the bathroom story I told, I think in episode 1 or 2.
Remind me.
Oh, where the daughter of the tour manager person, she was in the bathroom of this old Scottish inn, and she was washing her hands, and a stall door swung open, or a toilet flushed, a stall door swung open, and then the sink next to her turned on.
Ugh.
Yeah, so I'm like, oh, is this a common thing?
Yeah, maybe. Like, it would kind of, I don't know. I don't feel like it'd be a great afterlife if you were trapped in a bathroom, though.
Yeah, well, that probably implies that you died in a bathroom, and it's not great.
Not great.
It's not a good look.
Not great.
Yeah, but like for sure, if we have any listeners who have a similar story, I'd be really interested in doing like a head count thing.
Yeah, I agree.
Just how common is this?
Haunted bathrooms. Let us know.
Mm-hmm.
All right, my third and final haunted playhouse, or haunted theater, sorry, would be PEI's King's Playhouse.
Ooh.
So, PEI, you're on the show again. Welcome.
Hi, PEI. Still let go of those ghosts. Let me look at them.
Yeah, let us have them. Let us have them. So, the King's Playhouse apparently has a specific ghost named Captain George. I'm not sure exactly how he got the name, but maybe more research would have done me a bit of good. So apparently King George is a friendly ghost who has apparently been caught on camera. So unfortunately the source I was looking at, PEIcanada.com, did not include the video. But here we go. So during a wedding photo shoot, one of the guests was filming with their phone. When the guy replayed his video later, however, he noticed a dark shadow in the shape of a man pass over the couple's faces.
Rude.
He goes on to say he didn't normally believe in this stuff, but nobody he could see could have cast the shadow. The video made other viewers of it nervous, but not scared. So maybe like a friendly-ish ghost? The executive director of the Playhouse said that she's been dealing with the ghost for over a year. So she's experienced swinging doors open, noises, the whole haunting kind of deal.
Oh, kit and caboodle.
Whole kit and caboodle. One time a band was playing and the lead singer left the theater because they were hearing someone talking in her ear.
Ugh!
Yeah, so maybe this ghost was like wanting to whisper sweet nothing.
A bit of a pervert.
Yeah, and then she's like, you know what? Never mind, I'm out of here.
May.
So yeah, Captain George.
He's just like, let me get in on this and sing some karaoke.
You're getting the words all wrong.
Do you know Eyes to Buy?
Do you know Eyes to Buy?
This Bon Jovi cover band.
It did say it was a cover
like, no.
band. Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
So he's just like whispering like, no, that's not it.
That's not it.
That's not the lyrics.
Go louder. Put more feeling into it. Arr, don't you know how to sing? What's wrong with ye? Don't you know how to sing? Let me teach you a thing or two about singing.
Where's my goldfish crackers?
So
it's the throwback episode.
This is a throwback episode. But yeah, so that's the three theaters.
Excellent.
3 haunted theaters in the Maritimes.
Ooh, very spooky. Yes.
Makes me want to go to a show.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, the nice thing about being here in Halifax is that we do have access to the Neptune Theater.
Yes.
And I am certain that that place has some ghosty ghosts.
We should check it out sometime.
We should ask them for free tickets because we are doing a show and we'll talk about them. They're like, yeah, people talk about us all the time. Yeah. They don't need us. We don't need to pay people to do it.
I think the only thing that I have that kind of relates to theaters is I saw The Woman in Black on Broadway in England.
This is the wildest thing because I'm literally going to talk about how I went to see The Woman in Black in England.
No. That is so funny. So
yeah,
I don't know if your experience was the same, but it was incredible. And obviously on the billing, the whole show is done just by 2 actors, which is incredible. And
it is terrifying.
And it is the scariest live action, or it even compares, it would rank in with the scariest movies I've ever seen as well.
For sure. It's the scariest experience.
Yes, it was incredible. Yeah. If anyone gets the chance to see The Woman in Black, go watch it.
You have no idea how possible it is to make jump scares in a play.
And yes, the jump scares were so effective and so well done, but even the moments that weren't jump scares were you could, the hairs on the back of my neck right now are rising.
Same.
It was so scary. It was so well done. I would love to see it again. If I ever get the chance to go again, I am going again 100%.
Yes, for sure. Yeah, because I went back when I was 14, and so I was a huge scaredy cat. I would love to be able to go to it again and be able to handle it this time. Yeah, for sure.
Because I'm not even a scaredy cat, but I found it so scary, so scary.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, for Loved sure. It. Anyway, yeah. So tell me your experience.
No, that was it.
Oh, that was.
Just enjoy the show.
No, it was a great show.
That was it. It was just fantastic.
Yeah, as soon as I asked it, I was like, wait, if Jill had a spooky paranormal experience, she definitely would have told me about it by now.
I don't think I'm very susceptible to paranormal activity myself, and I'm actually very skeptical. I don't bring up the skepticism a lot on the show because I like playing along, but I am a very skeptical person when it comes to this stuff.
Yeah, you've described yourself as a Shane who wants to be a Ryan.
Yeah, I want to believe.
Yes, yeah. Whereas I am a Ryan with the mentality of a Shane.
Tell me what that's like.
Well, it's I cannot. For me, I cannot logically write off the possibilities of ghosts. There are so many coincidences. There's so many stories. There's just so much circumstantial evidence that I cannot possibly write it off completely. But I do think that a lot of the stories can be explained. A lot of what happens can be explained. And I am somebody who especially nowadays, in my later adult years now,
yes.
my late 29 years, I'm somebody who, even if I get spooked, I now have the wherewithal to be able to get up and look at and try to find what is making the noise or moving the thing, try to figure it out. Whereas when I was younger, I definitely would have just seen a curtain fluttering and immediately be like, ghosts.
Yeah. Your brain doesn't just jump to ghosts every time.
Yes. Yeah. Not anymore. But yeah, so when I was in because it's the same theater that shows The Woman in Black, the show that you go to in London, it is always in this same theater. We were up on the balcony, and it was my mom and I sitting Yes. It was my mom and I sitting together, and we could either sit way at the back where, like you were definitely super far from the action, or way at the front where, you could really like just see down into the theater. And like, that's where I wanted to sit. And it was next to a bunch of nuns. So that kind of ties into my story a bit too.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh yeah, no, I feel safe next to these women. But my mom is afraid of heights. And so she was like, no, I'm super uncomfortable. Like, let's sit at the back. Ended up being really thankful that we did sit at the back because I was terrified. And the entire show, my poor mom had to like hold me as I cried in her arms. So that's another reason why I want to like see the show again, because I did not see much of it.
Yeah.
Like the first jump scare, I was like gone. But I later found out that the spot where I wanted to sit, it is oftentimes left vacant because there is the apparition of a man that will sit around that area.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And it's like, there's a ton of stories of people sitting and being like, oh, there's a guy next to me. Don't know when he got here, but okay. And then when the lights come back on, it's like, oh, he's gone now. Like,
oh my God. He ran to get popcorn.
No. Out of the way. Shoving nuns to the side.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh. Well,
Yes.
this was a lot of fun today.
Yeah, a very fun episode. Before we go, Jill, do you want to talk about the RPG stream that we're doing?
So I want to start streaming sort of tabletop role-playing games, and on the 23rd, Chrissy's going to be one of our players, and my friend Kate and I are going to be starting a YouTube / Twitch / I don't know, I guess content creator empire. And we're calling it the College of Lore.
I love that name.
Thank you. Where we want to teach people about more the role-playing aspects of tabletop role-playing games like Dungeons and Dragons or Pathfinder. And our first stream is going to be of a game called The End of the World. And it's a very festive game where we're going to be surviving, I think, an alien apocalypse.
Nice.
It's not actually going to be festive at all.
It's festive as Die Hard.
Yeah.
Which is an amazing Christmas movie, and I will take that to my grave.
So yeah, on the 23rd, we're going to be streaming it. And then after that, you're going to be able to find it on our YouTube channel.
So this will originally stream on Twitch, right?
On Twitch, yeah. So
excellent.
Our Twitch handle is College of Lore Role Playing, if you want to check it out. I'll be sure to get a link into our description somewhere in the
awesome.
YouTube
yeah,
description.
we'll tweet it out as well.
And we'll tweet it out. That's a good idea. We'll tweet it out.
Yeah.
So yeah, hope you'll join us. Woohoo.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. So it'll be you, me, JF, and
Kate will be running it, and Neil, Kate's partner, will be playing as well, and possibly our friend Elise, which would be really cool.
Yes, very cool. Yeah, so that's awesome. So
join us for some video fun.
Yeah, we have another episode of the podcast coming out on the 21st, so we'll remind you guys again. Yes.
Okay, so thanks for the fun episode. This was a blast.
Thank you. Yeah, so you can find us on Twitter and Instagram at MSN Podcast. You can also find us on YouTube at Maritime Supernatural Podcast. You can email us with any thoughts, opinions, stories, feedback, at maritimesupernatural@gmail.com. It is all one word, no punctuation, except where you would expect it in an email. Thank you to Daniel Luke. He is the composer of our intro music. He's an amazing friend, animator, and composer, and you can find more of his stuff at webbot15.com. That's WEBBOT15.com. And yeah, thank you so much for joining me, Jill.
Thank you for joining me.
Yes, and thank you to the listeners for
Thank you so
joining
much
us.
for listening.
Yes, yeah. Have a good night.
Love you.
Rip in peace.